The indifference, the lidless eye, the man in the wall. Ever since we made our choices in the war within, we've been dealing with this unknown entity, and over time he has only grown stronger. Our interactions with him have varied depending on the choices that we have made, be they condescending or congratulatory. But who or what is he? Is he an ally or an enemy? Palladino believes him to be a manifestation of the void itself, while the Lotus seems to believe he is a figment of our imagination, a side effect caused by the transference. However, as we progress, it seems less and less likely for this to be the case. I think we are actually going to be learning some more about him in this next cinematic quest, The Sacrifice. Now, I know how far-fetched that seems to be, given that we already know from a previous dev stream stating that The Sacrifice is going to be about the warframes. It's going to be about what is inside of them. But I just can't help but feel that the man in the wall is involved in it somehow. Looking at the chronology of the questlines that involve him, we have the Second Dream, which I will explain in a moment, the War Within, then the Chains of Harrow, and possibly even the Apostasy, which is a stretch based on what we know, but actually kind of makes some sense given a few plot holes. Before we got the quest line The Second Dream, players started getting a mysterious message that would come up during their loading screens, which was written in the Orokin script. Now, thanks to a few die-hard players and a few long loading screens, we were able to translate it. It reads like this: Void link severed. Reason: foreign carrier detected. Unknown origin. Suspect tracking signal. Reinitiating dipolar connection on naval carrier. Bow in standby for sync check and sync. Motion compensation complete. Selenic lensing locked. Somatic control established. Margulis implantation intact. EVM status nominal. War platform awaiting sync. Initializing synaptic overlay. Good night, sweet angel. We started getting this message way back in 2015, and most believe it to be just a teaser for the Second Dream. But I think there's much more to it than that. Void link severed. Someone or something was cutting the link between us and our warframe. Foreign carrier detected. Origin unknown. I believe this particular bit of text refers to whatever it was possessing or carrying the same link to the void as our Tenno have. However, it doesn't seem to be another Tenno. Some people seem to think that it was a stalker, but he couldn't have known about the Tenno, so how could he have known about the link? Bow in standby for sync check and sync. Motion compensation complete. Selenic lensing locked. The cryopod is attempting to reconnect us to our warframe from the reservoir on the moon. Somatic control established. Now we are connected to our warframe. Margulis implantation intact. This one we don't have an exact definition for. At first we didn't know who Margulis was, and now we're waiting to find out what the implant is. War platform awaiting sync. Initializing synaptic overlay. Good night, sweet angel. The warframe is ready. We sync with it and regain control. The Good Night Sweet Angel is likely an additional coding added by Margulis, as she felt she was more of a mother to us as the Tenno. What could possibly have a connection to the Void that would be strong enough to interrupt our connection? Corrupted Vor? I don't think Vor would be able to leave the Void in his current condition. Nor do I think he has enough power. The man in the wall, however, if you chose to destroy the Kuva, he states that you are nothing without me, implying that he gave us our powers and can quite possibly take them away. I firmly believe that it was he who tampered with our somatic link, causing the disconnect. But why? According to Teshin, the Void is a realm that watches and dreams. But what does it dream of? The Void exists beside our own dimension, and its energy can poison the minds of most, if not blatantly kill them. Assuming the man in the wall is the living embodiment of the Void, what's to say that he isn't the reason that most of the things die there? What if he is trying to use us as a vehicle to wipe out our own dimension? During the War Within, if you chose the moon alignment, he seemed to speak through you more than if you chose the sun alignment. I think that's because he's starting to approve of how you embraced the Void, and how you cursed and destroyed your enemies, something that he himself wants done. Also, regardless of your final choice, he seems to possess you and speak through you, turning you into someone else until Teshin snaps you out of it. Afterward, in the Chains of Haro quest, what is presumably the man in the wall possessed Rel, driving Rel mad as he did to our parents on the Zariman, and even possessing the Red Veil. Comparing the Zariman to the Steel Meridian ship, they're almost identical instances. However, rather than going through the Void, the Steel Meridian were overwhelmed when a possessed Rel drove their allies, the Red Veil, mad. Upon completing the Chains of Haro quest, we are greeted by the man in the wall himself, taking the very form of our own Tenno, and now he haunts us periodically in our own form. By destroying Haro, we set him free, allowed him into our realm, and now we need to hope that we don't suffer the same fate that Rel has. Now, how does this connect to the apostasy? Of course, this is solely based on speculation, and I don't even have a hint of evidence to back this up. That being said, let's take a look at Ballas. He looks, for the most part, like a rather human form, but there are three things specifically, height excluded, that separate his appearance from any other hominids in-game. His skin is gray, his eyes are gold, and his right arm is, well, long. But the Orokin are described as beautiful, golden, flawless. I don't believe that asymmetrical proportions is something they would describe in such a way. I think that during the Old War, or after it, there were few bodies for the Orokin to use continuity on. The Twin Queens moved to take Grineer bodies. But what about Ballas? We already know he couldn't have survived this long without changing bodies, without performing continuity. But what else has a form that is similar to Ballas's current flesh? Many have already said that Ballas himself looks like an ancient infested. And what were they? The Lorists. What if Ballas used continuity to enter the body of a Lorist, giving him his current physique? Unfortunately, there are no descriptions of Lorists, and little information at all aside from the corrupted ancient synthesis lore, so we really can't be certain. Assuming that Lorists can increase their natural longevity, this could account for Ballas still being alive. But what if he isn't? What if the Tenno killed him, along with the rest of the Orokin? Or if he died of age due to lack of beautiful forms? Then, who took the Lotus? Who has gold in their eyes and has the power to manipulate mind? Who could have convinced the Lotus that she wasn't just a copy of Margulis, but Margulis herself? And now that she's been removed from the picture, who is free to warp the minds of the Tenno, to take control and use them as a vessel to set the Origin system ablaze? There's only one person that can come to my mind with this: the man in the wall. But again, guys, this is only speculation. I have no real evidence, no insider information to prove that this is the storyline that they're going for with the sacrifice. So unfortunately, unless they release a few more teasers before TennoCon, this is all we have. This is all we know, and this is my theory on the sacrifice. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe for my next video. I will be starting to put out my videos one per week. If you have any idea for a lore video that I can throw out there, please leave it in the comments. Or you can message me direct on my Discord. I will have that linked in the description. You can also follow me on Twitter as well as Facebook. I will have my links to all of those down in the description. Once again, thank you for watching. Sit vobiscum vacui. May the void be with you.